top of the morning, and it is a beaut.
And the hope of the Irish as the future champion of the world.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio.
Welcome to the Barry J. McDonald podcast. The place where dreams get dusted off and acted on. Because life is too short. We're living on a rock that's flying through space, and hey, what the hell else were you going to do with yourself here?
Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's podcast episode. Now, as I do from time to time, I kind of play around with the Kindle app first thing in the morning, just having a look at what the daily deals are, and I picked up a book yesterday called Everything is Figure-Outable by Marie Forleo. Now, I'd never heard of the lady before, and I was just kind of interested in the title of the book because when you think about it, everything really is figure-outable. Now, what you mean by that is everyone has probably figured out how to do the thing that you would like to do, or that it's possible for you to figure it out. And sometimes when we are about to do something, what we don't know how to figure it out, we just give up straight away. I can't do that. Can't write a book. Can't do a podcast. Can't do a YouTube channel. Or I'm almost like one of those kids who kind of, puts her hands on her hips, stamps her foot on the ground and refuses to do it because I can't do that. Now, right now, is there something that you would like to do? Have you tried to work it out? Have you tried to figure out how to do it? And again, sometimes when we don't think we can figure it out, we just give up and we don't consider, well, has someone else done this before? Has someone else ever recorded a podcast from their smartphone? Has anyone ever recorded videos on this topic? How do people blog? How do you upload a document? How do you create a digital product? You can be guaranteed that right now, even though you think you are the only person in the world who has your unique problem, somebody else has probably done it already. And sometimes all we need to do is just go to Google, do a search, look up a video, listen to a podcast, or maybe read a book to find out how to do that. And it always surprises me sometimes, some of the questions I do receive from time to time are really basic questions that anyone with 5 minutes of time on their hands and has access to the internet would be able to work it out. But they'll come to me and say, Barry, I can't do this thing because of this. And sometimes if I don't know the answer, I just go straight to Google and I look it up and find out how to do it. And it always amazes me sometimes, if people really did want to do some of the things that they declare that they want to do, how would you give up so easily? If you really want to write a book, you'll go out of your way to find out how to write a book. If you want a podcast, again, you'll go out of your way to find out how to podcast. You'll go over to YouTube, you'll go to Google, you'll buy a training course, you'll buy a book, and you find how to do it. And in the book by Marie Forleo, I think that's how you pronounce her surname, she talks about 3 things that when it comes to achieving your goals or trying to do something that you need to remember. And she said, as I said earlier on there, everything is figure-outable. We can figure it out. Somebody has already laid the path. Somebody has already drawn a map. Somebody already has the training program. And we just follow along with them and then we figure out how to do it. Now, she said sometimes, on the rare occasion, there is something that we can't figure out. Sometimes it's just to do with the laws of nature. Right now I'd like to maybe sprout a pair of wings out of my back, but that's not going to happen for me because it's against the laws of nature. But I suppose I could kind of work a way around it in maybe coming up with a hang glider or getting a ticket for an airplane or something like that. So I can still fly, even though I myself, can't break any of the laws of nature with my body. And then she also says, and third thing to remember as well too, is that sometimes we don't really want to do the thing that we say we want to do. Sometimes we'll put up a great case, I couldn't write a book, I don't know how to write a book. And yet if I was to sit down in front of this person, lay out all the steps in front of them, they'd probably just look at it all and say, nah, I don't want to do it now. So again, going back to you as well, the thing that you would like to achieve, do you really want to achieve it? Now, if you really, really want to achieve it, why aren't you looking for a solution? Because, as Marie Forleo says, everything really is figure-outable. And if you couldn't be bothered to go and do a Google search, watch some videos on YouTube, that could be a sign that maybe that thing isn't right for you. That the right thing for you isn't to write a book, or to have a podcast, or to create YouTube videos. The thing that you could be looking for is something completely different. And you will find that, if you are excited about something, and if you want to know how this thing works. I remember when I was small, there was nothing I loved more than just taking things apart, just to see how they looked. And sometimes I would put those things back together, and then suddenly I might find maybe a couple of screws left over, or maybe some little thing that was missing from it, but I would just kind of put it back on the shelf, tuck it away, and let on I didn't touch it, and just hide those screws. Because I used to be interested in finding out, how those things came about. So, if you couldn't really be bothered looking at how to figure out the thing that you'd like to do, chances are good you shouldn't be doing it. What you should do is look for things that excite you, things that interest you, things that you want to know more about, and go down that route in your business. Okay, there may be money in whatever niche you're thinking about going after, or maybe speaking on this topic, or talking about this in your TikTok videos, whatever. But what excites you? Sometimes, you don't have to be the expert. You can be the beginner. You can record your journey on how you learned about that topic, how you developed those skills, and that could be your content today. And the content you could be laying down today could be something that could really help someone else out, maybe in the weeks, months, years ahead. When somebody comes to the internet, or goes to TikTok, or goes to YouTube, and they're trying to figure out how to do that thing, you could be the person. You could be the person that's just dropping the breadcrumbs on the ground so that they can find their way to getting to figure out what it is they want to do. So give that some thought today, because I suppose Marie Forleo is correct. Everything really is figure-outable. Somebody's already done it. And if they haven't, well, maybe it's something we shouldn't be doing. And again as well too, do you really want to figure out how to do that thing? And if you couldn't really be bothered doing maybe a simple 5-minute Google search, well, that's a good sign that maybe you shouldn't be doing the thing that you're doing right now. Give that some thought today. Have a lovely day. Take care. Bye-bye. Would you like to know how I went from being a lowly shelf stacker, depressed, no confidence in himself, and how I went from that to becoming a popular children's author, and then on to even greater things, recording and selling my own digital products? If you'd like to find out how I did it, and if you would like to do the same yourself, if you head over to Writecom, that's WRITECOME.com, you'll find a great free report over there, which is called the Online Business Manifesto. And in that report, I'm going to show you the journey I went on from the beginning to where I am right now, and I'm going to show you the 3 business secrets I learned along the way. Now, these secrets aren't secrets that most people talk about. Some people don't even realise that they exist. So if you head over to Writecom, download the free report, you are going to be miles ahead of everyone else who has an online business. Have a lovely day, and I hope you enjoy this episode.